Welcome everybody to Mom Street USA. My name is Jackie, aka Wishes Mama, and joining me live from Epcot is my co-host Kate, aka the Disney Cicerone, and we are super excited to bring you guys all things flower and garden tonight. So Kate, like I said, is in Epcot. And we are just going to kind of cover as much as we can about doing the Flower and Garden Festival with kids.
Yeah, I think this will be a really fun episode. Even if you don't have kids, you'll still get to see the festival too. So this will be a
Yeah.
fun episode for everybody, but especially helpful for parents and families. That's our goal. And I ended up here next to the playground, so I don't know if it's okay if we maybe show that first
Yeah.
before we walk around a little bit.
That's perfect.
Okay.
Absolutely. No problem. Like I said, and I told Kate earlier, we're kind of just going to jump around a little bit and show you things as Kate walks around. Some of it will be food. Some of it will be just activities or things to do. So where Kate is right now is outside of the Creations merch store, kind of on the way towards Test Track is further that way. But this is the playground area that they have set up. So this is a really, really great area if your kids are restless and they need space to run and jump and play. They've been in the stroller or they've been standing for too long. This is a really great place for them to be able to go. And they typically do adjust the theming a little bit for each festival, so you'll see kind of different features for this festival, Flower and Garden for Food and Wine, Festival of the Arts. They'll have different kind of things located in there to help keep the kiddos entertained.
Apparently, this is not a good cell phone signal place either, so I won't linger too long.
That's okay.
But you can see all of it. I think it's closed at sunset.
Yeah.
It's clearly closed right now.
Yeah, I'll have to double check those hours. But yes, there is a playground. So that is one of the little gems that I feel like if people don't go out that side of Creations, they may not ever know that it's there. We stumbled across it one year, and it's a game changer. I remember last spring we were at Flower and Garden waiting for the food booths right around the corner to open. And we had like 20 minutes to spare. We didn't really want to go walk anywhere else because we wanted to get food. So we just like parked the stroller and let the kids run around and play for 20 minutes, and it was perfect. So it's a really, really great thing to utilize if you're in that section of the park. And like I said, it's the exit of the main merchandise store kind of going towards the Test Track area.
And then just to this side over here, where the playground is.
Perfect.
And then they have, because I'm here,
Yeah.
they look like funny little lampposts, but they're actually nests for the purple martins, which apparently are out right now. I haven't seen them,
Yeah.
but it's their season. Do you want to explain a little bit more about them? Do you know much more about
I
them?
don't know a ton about them, other than I know that these kind of oddly shaped containers are there for them to utilize as nests. So you will find, in the spring, you will see them more frequently, and they actually nest in those boxes and lay their eggs in there. And one thing that they have for the Flower and Garden Festival is actually a little informational presentation that they do at the Purple Martins nests. And it is Wednesdays at 1 p.m. So it's only once a week, Wednesdays at 1 p.m. But if you've got kiddos that is right up their alley, super, super fun thing to do with them. So it's members of Disney's Animal Science and Environment team. They do a close-up view of the bird nests. So they talk about them. They kind of, I believe if they can and they're able to show inside, those types of things. But I just thought that was a really neat thing that they do during the Flower and Garden Festival.
Yeah, it is that they nest in, I guess, I'm trying to remember where this came from, but at some point their nests were in trees, and then the trees disappeared, and then the people had to make, the natives would make hollow out boards and hang them in the trees.
Yeah.
for the birds to nest in, and then they got dependent on it, and that's why they need these specific kind of board shaped objects in order to keep thriving. At least that is what I remember. I did not do any research on this particular item for tonight, but that's what I believe is the story, and that's why they're in that particular shape. So
Yeah. Very, very cool. So again, just kind of a unique thing that you can encounter if you're at Epcot on a Wednesday afternoon. That may be something that you're interested in doing. So something that I learned as I was doing research for this show was that they have that little presentation. So I thought that
I'm
was pretty
sorry I
cool.
skipped it.
Yeah, Kate, that area is not great for your service right now.
I'm gonna get away from it.
Well, head where you need to head, and I'll just kind of chat a little bit about the festival while you kind of look for some good service there. Um, So with the Flower and Garden Festival, the first thing that I would suggest is that you grab one of the festival passports. So they are just little booklets that you can find, and they give you all of the information basically that you need to know for the festival. Yay, Kate's got one right there. I was very pleased when I was looking through the pages online. It is a very nice, thorough look at what the festival has. It includes activities. It includes all of the food. The only downside is that there's no prices in there. So if you want prices, you're going to have to search elsewhere or look at the actual menu boards. But it also includes, like, there's a whole page of things to do with kids, which is really helpful for this particular topic that we're talking about. So Kate right now is over at Brunch Cot. So we'll hop there for a moment, and then I'll kind of chat about some other things about the festival as we're walking throughout the evening here. But this is one of the outdoor kitchen locations. It is called Brunch Cot. And a couple things from here. So the food that we're going to highlight tonight is food that we think that most kiddos would probably try. Now, I will say, Kate and I have not tried everything on this list. So this is just kind of based on research, based on looking at menus, thinking about what ingredients kiddos are typically open to trying. So a couple things at this location that we think that the kiddos would try. The first one is the fried cinnamon roll bites. So those are fried cinnamon roll bites with cream cheese frosting and candied bacon, and those are $4.75. I actually tried them last year. Thanks, Kate. I tried them last year when we went to Flower and Garden. This is not my photo, but that will give you, yep, another photo. Again, thank you to Disney Food Blog, who has such great photos on their website. We used a lot of their stuff, so shout out to them. Thank you. But they are very, very good. My kids enjoyed them last year. But they're basically, cinnamon roll bites. They've got that cream cheese frosting inside and drizzled on the outside with the candied bacon on top as well. So they were definitely a good choice for my kiddos last year when we went. And again, those are $4.75 for, I think, like three bites in that serving, maybe two. There were three on my picture, but maybe there are two bigger ones this year. Who knows? So either way, it's a decent amount of food for $4.75.
Yeah, it looks really good.
Yeah. The other thing that I will point out that they have here is maybe a little fun treat for your kids is that Fruit Loops shake that they have. So it is basically just exactly what it sounds like. It is a shake with Fruit Loops on the top of it. Well, it might see, I'm going to run into issues with this ring light here. You guys can see my Mickey shaped light. There we go. So it's like a standard shake with, and then it's got Fruit Loops sprinkled on the top of it. So that is definitely something that your kiddos may enjoy trying there as well, depending on if they're ready for a sweet treat at that point in your day. And that is also $4.75.
Awesome.
Yeah, and I will also mention that as we're looking at some of these menus, you may see there's a little symbol, and I don't know if Kate's able to find it on any of these menus or not, for the Garden Graze deal, which, Kate, I don't know if you see that little...
Is it one of these? Strawberry?
Yes, it is. I think the strawberry. Let me.
Yeah, because I think the leaf's probably like vegan or vegetarian.
Yes, so I believe it is the strawberry. So that little symbol is for the Garden Graze deal, and that is very similar to the deals that we've talked about at the other festivals. You purchase any 5 items on that from those menu options at any of their locations, and you'll collect the matching stamp. So we talked about that before when we did Festival of the Arts. They had a similar thing where if you collected some off of that particular menu, you could collect those stamps. You're going to return your passport during Flower and Garden to Pineapple Promenade. For a special treat. So we'll show you guys that location a little bit later. But your special treat is actually a Dole Whip, which is kind of exciting. The prizes for these are not always the most appetizing. Sometimes they're really stale sugar cookies or things like that. But this one is Dole Whip. And then you also get a little wildflower seed packet with it too that you can take home and plant at home. So super fun little prize if you get all 5 of those stamps in your passport.
Gorgeous sunset.
It is. It's so beautiful. That view is like, just woo. Perfect.
I'm just going to appreciate it for just a second.
That's fine. I will keep talking. No, I will keep talking while you appreciate that and while everyone watching can appreciate that because it is absolutely beautiful at Epcot right now.
There's even a moon up there.
Yeah. So a couple other things that the festival has to offer. Inside that passport, you will find information about the different tours that they offer. Now, the first one that they highlight in there is the Behind the Seeds tour, which is not a Flower and Garden exclusive, but it is something that they highlight in that passport. For those of you that are familiar with it, it's the same tour that happens throughout the year. Now, they do during Flower and Garden have some different aspects that they'll show you based on what is currently in season for Flower and Garden, but it is a 1-hour tour of the fish farm and 4 greenhouses that make up the land pavilion. And the Disney website says it's perfect for anyone with an interest in gardening or natural sciences. So if you've got gardeners at your house, that may be something that you want to do with your kiddos. I would suggest probably older kiddos because it is a walking tour. For an hour, so you want to make sure that they're going to be able to handle that as you go through that area. It is $35 per person, and the tours run every hour on the half hour from 10:30 to 4:30 daily, and that is something that you want to reserve ahead of time. That can be reserved at your 60-day mark, like your advanced dining reservations can as well. So if that's something that you think your kiddos would be interested in, that is an offering that they have at Flower and Garden as well.
So I'm headed to the Trader. Where am I going? I'm going this way. I tried to avoid the place with the bad Wi-Fi signal for you guys. It's like walk back through there.
Yeah, no, you're good. You're headed towards World Traders or Disney Traders. Disney Traders is the one over here.
Disney Traders, yes.
Okay, perfect. You keep heading that way, and I'll keep talking.
Okay.
That's kind of going to be what the show is tonight. So I will get
me walking a lot.
Yes, Kate walking and me talking, so it's all good. The other tour that they highlight on the passport is actually the English Tea Gardens tour, which is something I had never heard about until I started doing research again for this. So it's always super fun when we get these festivals because I feel like I learned so much more about the festivals than what I already knew.
Yes.
So this tour happens over in the UK pavilion area, and we'll walk by that area a little bit later in this show, and we can point that out to you. But it is a tour where you can discover the history and the art of tea blending. So if that's something that's interesting to you, to your kids, to maybe your teens or older kids that maybe drink tea more frequently, that is something that they do offer. They do guided tours, and they also have a self-guided tour option as well. So the guided tours are 30 minutes. And they do have limited availability. So to sign up for those, you actually have to stop by and see the cast member at the tea caddy to sign up. Typically in the past, the tours have been at 3:30 and 5 o'clock. I heard from Kirk and Kate the other day that possibly there's a 1 o'clock as well. The times were not really clearly listed online, so it was kind of hard to tell. So I believe Kate and Kirk are going to try that next week, so we'll have some more information about that once they get it from the cast members over there. But they are complimentary with your park admission, whether you do the self-guided or the guided tour. It is included with your park admission.
Hey, Goofy.
Hi, Goofy.
These are so fun for kids, the topiaries.
Yeah.
See lots of families taking photos of topiaries today.
Yeah, absolutely. So if you don't know, for Flower and Garden, the entire park of Epcot is decorated with those character topiaries. So you will see them pop up in basically every flower bed across the entire park, not just the World Showcase, but also in World Nature and World Adventure, I think are the other two new names to the sections. And new this year with the topiaries, they have an Encanto topiary that is all the way up at the front of the park, which is a new one this year. And then they also have the new Tiana one. So this is what because I knew Kate wasn't going to be all the way back up at the front. This is what the Encanto one looks like. I told you that. I was ready with pictures tonight. And then and then the Tiana one we will see in a little bit, but it's getting a little dark over there, so I figured I'd show you a daytime picture. The Tiana one is in the American Pavilion, along with a ton of other characters all across the entire World Showcase. So pretty much every 100 feet or so, you're going to find some form of topiary while you're walking around Flower and Garden. Okay, so Kate has made her way to Disney Traders, which is one of the stores as you enter World Showcase. And this is where you will find the scavenger hunts. So there are currently 2 scavenger hunts. The one on the top is Spike's. So Spike the Bee, Pollination Exploration, and that is the Flower and Garden scavenger hunt. The one on the bottom is the one that they currently have for Easter. So that one will run now through Easter, which I think is like the second weekend in April. And that is the Extravaganza one. I did want to point it out, even though it's not technically Flower and Garden, but it is happening now for the next several weeks. So both of those, as you can see on the price on the map or on the picture right there, are $9.99. I do know that discounts do apply to that. So annual pass holder DVC discounts do apply to those if that's something that you've got. But basically, you're going to go all around and search for the different items that they have. And they come with a little sticker packet so that you can fill in the maps as you go. The Spike the Bee one is all across the entire park of Epcot, if I remember correctly. But the egg one is going to be just in World Showcase. So depending on where you're wanting to look, if you're going to be there while the Easter one is still happening, that may determine which one you end up doing. But both of them, very, very similar. You're going to search the park in the areas that are located on the map to find the hidden item. So when you're looking for, let me find it here. Where's my picture? I lost my picture. Sorry.
We'll see if we can find one. But at least one of the eggs, where one of the eggs are, because I saw them earlier. So
okay.
When we see them, when we're walking around, I'll point them out.
Perfect.
The egg hunt, at least.
Perfect. So I had it. That's okay. The Spike the Bee ones are like these little tiny statues of Spike the Bee that are hidden within the flower beds. And then the Easter eggs are fairly large. They're like the size of, they're probably bigger than my head. And they're all characters decked out to that. So you do get a prize at the end after you have completed your, the scavenger hunt. So for Spike the Bee's Pollination Exploration this year, the prizes, I love that this year I feel like even more so they themed the prizes with the merch, but here are your choice of prizes. So there's either plates or cups that, if you're familiar with the merch for Flower and Garden this year, which I'll show you in a little bit later in the show, it looks very, very similar. So you get a choice of one, either a plate or a cup, and then you get a choice of the character that's on it as well. Again, those are like while supplies last, depending on what they have in the store. You can redeem them at Disney Traders, where Kate just was, or at World Travelers, which is the shop if you're going out the International Gateway side. I almost lost that for a minute. So if you're going towards the Skyliner, they also have them in that shop right there. For the Extravaganza, they have these little Easter eggs. with the character little faces on them. So you get to pick one of those for your prize if you do the egg hunt. So they've got some really fun characters in those. I love that they've got like Robin Hood in there, which is fun. You don't see him very often, and the genie is on there. So they've got lots
Yeah,
of
I
fun
love Robin Hood.
characters. I know. And he's not a super popular one. I feel like you don't see him as often anymore. But that is super cute as you go through there. I do want to mention, Kate's at the next spot that we'll hit here momentarily, but I do want to mention that if you are someone who is heading to Flower and Garden, one of the most important things to do is to take a look at the map before you go. Our map that we like to use when we are planning is from our good friend Kirk at Walrus Carp, and it is available for free on his website, walruscarp.com. But his map, I feel like, is the easiest to follow. It's got all of the booths very clearly located, and then he's got kind of the best of the fest over here on the side of his map. So that is what I use, and that's what I used to prep for the show this evening, is that map, because I feel like there are tons of maps out there. Disney doesn't really put out a really great map, unfortunately. You can look for the locations of the outdoor kitchens on the app, but they're not super easy to find if you want to like make the best track around World Showcase, if that makes sense. So that map... Thanks, Kate. So that map is super helpful. And again, like I said, he's got the best of the fest listed on the other side of the page on there. So it's not every item that they have to offer at Flower and Garden, kind of just like we said, that our list that we're giving is more kid-based. His is more based on his choices. He and his wife put that together, so we definitely love that map. Again, that's walruscarp.com if that's something that you are looking for if you're going to be at the Flower and Garden Festival. Okay.
Right.
Sorry.
Should we talk about Florida
I'm
Fresh?
just throwing
that was
all
great.
the things.
I'm only being really quiet. There's an audio delay with my AirPods, so I want to make sure that I'm not interrupting even in the middle of your thoughts. So you can ask me questions if you want to, and I'll wait and answer that. But otherwise, I'm just going to be Jackie's eyes and feet this evening.
Perfect.
You guys are I'm seeing all your comments, and thank you everybody for chatting and giving your input, because I am reading them. So I see you. Even though I'm not saying anything, I see you.
I see you. Perfect. Okay. So
let's go to Florida Fresh.
Yeah, let's talk about Florida Fresh. So again, if you're someone looking for where these booths are located, check out that Walrus Carp map. But on the Florida Fresh booth, again, we are highlighting mostly foods that we believe kiddos would be willing to try. They've got a couple different options here. This is a really good booth, I feel like, for kids. They have two different types of grilled street corn. If you remember when we did our episode on Animal Kingdom, we talked about their street corn as an option for kids. So there are two options here for street corn at this booth. And they are the grilled street corn on the cob with a savory garlic spread, and they are served with spicy corn chips kind of on the top as well. And that is $5.75. So if they like spicy or they don't, that may be hit or miss for them. But they do have another option that is a grilled street corn on the cob with a savory garlic spread with plant-based cotija, I think is the right way to say that, cheese. So a couple different options on there. So yeah, that's the cheese one. It looks almost like a mozzarella stick on the outside, like the way they have it breaded, kind of. So that would be something that potentially your kiddos would be willing to try if they are corn fans. Both of those options are $5.75 at that booth.
Was there any more at this one?
Yes. So we also, I wanted to point out, they've got the Florida strawberry shortcake there, which is that bottom right picture that I see. So that is one of the options that they have there as well. It looks very shareable. It is a very, very large portion of that. Lots of whipped cream in there. And that is $4.75. And then they also have a cucumber watermelon slushie there as well, which, again, if that's something that your kiddos are into, I gotta find my photo of it. They don't usually have photos of the drinks, I feel like, on the menu. So I knew that I was like, I got to make sure I have those. I pulled so many pictures for today. Let's see if we can find that one. Oh, that one's gone. Where did it go? Okay, anyway, that's okay. So yeah, they've got a cucumber watermelon slushie there for $4.75. That may be something fun for you guys to split there as well. Oh, and Rick says on my side, he loves that they prepare the corn in front of you. So that's always fun with these kitchens. I feel like you can stand there and watch them prep everything, which could be very entertaining for the kiddos. Oop, I lost Kate. We'll have to see if we can find her back here. Yeah, Holly, that's what I would do too. Make an entire list. Here we go. We're back. Okay.
That was weird.
It's just like all of a sudden I was like, oh, I lost her. She's gone.
Whoops. Okay, we're back. Was there anything else there, or are you okay if I walk?
Yep, you're all good. Yep, you're all good. So we are kind of heading around the circle, so to speak, of World Showcase. There we go. Okay. I was like making sure that your connection was still good as we were walking around.
Yeah, we're okay. I'll probably go in and out, and you can just keep going.
Yep.
I'll come back eventually.
That's fine. Now, Kate, which way are you heading? Are you heading towards China, right? Like through Mexico and towards China?
With China. Yeah.
Okay. I just wanted to make sure. I was like, which way are we going? Perfect.
Yes,
okay.
Towards...
Okay, so I'm just going to keep going. I know, Lem, towards Mexico. I hear you. So a couple other things that they have to offer at the Flower and Garden Festival. They also have a ton of different types of gardens that they have all the way around. So in that festival passport that Kate showed us earlier, they have lists on some of the pages of the different types of gardens that they have. So again, if you've got kiddos that are super into gardening or help you grow things at home, that could be a really good option for you. But you can see in the festival passport, oh, that's probably backwards for you. Hang on a second. Let me see. Okay. Is that the right way for you guys to be able to read it? Let me know. But they've got this whole list of different types of gardens that they have through the festival. So you can take a look. No, no. Okay, what about now? There we go. That looks like it might be the right way now. Okay, so you can see that they've got different types depending on something that you're interested in. They've got now we've got it the right way. Thank you, chat. I appreciate your input. So they've got all sorts of different types of gardens in here. We talked about the English tea garden. They've got bouquet gardens. They've got spice gardens. They've got all sorts of different types. So depending on what you're looking for will help you determine maybe where you want to spend a little bit of extra time, if that is something that interests you, or something that interests your kids, or just something that you want them to experience while you are at the festival. I also saw a question I think Holly asked earlier about merch. So let's talk briefly while Kate continues to go towards China. Again, we are not hitting every single thing at the festival. We're not talking about every single food item or every single food booth. We are mostly highlighting things to do with your kiddos. So that's kind of the focus of the show. If you want more information, you can always reach out and email us, send us a message on Discord, post on the chat on Discord, let us know. We are happy to help if you want additional information. But a couple of different things with merch-wise. They've got 3 different categories of merchandise that they did for Flower and Garden, or I should say 3 different characters that they highlighted. So there's an entire Orange Bird line, there's an entire Snow White line, and an entire Figment line. So I just pulled a couple pictures. A lot of you guys have probably seen some of this stuff on lives before, but there's some of the Figment merch that you can find, as Kate showcases another one of those lovely topiaries.
Elsa and Anna.
And let me see. A little bit different on this one. There's some Snow White on that one, Orange Bird, all that. So that is just a brief snapshot of the festival merch. A lot of it is available on Shop Disney, or was last time I checked. They always kind of rotate things out over there, but
Yeah,
a
I'll
lot of it
show
was
you some
available.
of it. I'll show you some
Perfect.
of it when I stop, when we see it. I'll just briefly swing by it.
Perfect. Yeah. So the two main places that you can find the merchandise is in the main Creations merchandise store, and also inside of the Citrus Blossom building, which is kind of back by port of entry near where Kate started. That is where they have the majority of the merchandise, but there are little pockets of it kind of around the park as well. All right, so we have arrived in the China Pavilion at the Lotus House. And here, a couple different options. If your kiddos are fans of Chinese food, there are a couple different options here that they may be interested in trying. The first on that list being the house-made cheesy crab wontons, and those are $7.75. And let me find. So that's what those ones look like. And then the other thing that they have at this location that you may be interested in trying with your kiddos is the pan-fried vegetable dumplings, and those are $5.25. I will say the dumpling serving was a little underwhelming in the photo that I found on Disney Food Blog. So you may want to take that into consideration as you're looking.
That's tiny.
Yeah, exactly. So typically you get a pretty decent sized portion for your, for the money that you're paying at festivals. That one looked a little skimpy to me. It could have just been that particular one. Not 100% sure, so don't quote me on that. But those are two options that you may want to try at the Lotus House in the China Pavilion with your kiddos. Okay.
I'm going to keep walking so we don't
That's
run into
fine.
harmony.
That's fine. I'm just going back to make sure if there was anything else that I missed that we had talked about before, or anything else that we wanted to chat about. Okay. I think we're all caught up on all of that information. Holly asked, am I a Figment or Orange Bird girly? I like them both. I don't know that I have a particular affinity with either of them. My oldest kiddo loves Figment. So that would probably be my choice if I had to pick between the two. Kate, what about you? Are you Figment or Orange Bird or both? Or neither?
There's a bird. Sorry, look away, Jackie. There's a bird. That's a big one. I am probably Orange Bird because I feel like Orange Bird gets picked on a lot and he's bullied because he can't talk. He only talks in like thought bubbles. So the backstory of him is that he gets like bullied by all the other birds, and so I just feel for him. Like nobody wants to be his friend, and that makes me sad. So I want to be Orange Bird's friend.
I love that. That's a very Kate answer. I'm getting a couple other questions that I'll answer here about the festival while you're continuing to make your way. Someone asked about the dates of the festival, and apologies, I had meant to mention that at the beginning. But this year, the festival runs from March 1st through July 5th. So right past 4th of July. So it is a very long festival at Epcot. And we talked about this briefly with the Festival of the Arts, that it was a very short festival in comparison. So you can see the date differences there. But yes, Flower and Garden runs from March 1st through July 5th. Kate,
And
what did you
another
find?
thing, I found face painting, which I think would be really, really fun for kids.
Yeah.
Right? So there's this is in this like little outpost area of Africa that's not quite a full Africa. And then they have all these different options. And it looks like it's $18 to $25,
Okay.
depending on what style you get.
Very cute.
It's a pretty neat option.
Yeah,
Yeah.
absolutely.
And there's not a long line, which, most face painting always has like a massive line. So
Yeah.
we'll take it.
Right, for sure, for sure. May is asking, is there a virtual festival booklet? So, unfortunately, no. The best that I found as far as coverage of what's inside the passport was honestly on Disney Food Blog. They have photos of every page. They have reviews of all of the food, all of the menu prices. They have extensive coverage of the Flower and Garden Festival. So props to them and thank you to them. We use and borrow a lot of their photos. But yeah, that would be
There's
my
like one
suggestion, May.
photo. There's not like photos of every item. There's like a photo per page
Yeah.
of the food items, which always bugs me. I'm like, I want to see all the food photos. So
Yeah.
that's
Yeah.
what it looks like on the inside of the passport.
Yeah. And like I said,
There is this.
I will hype up Disney Food Blog because their coverage is fantastic of the festival. So, oh, Kate found some orange bird.
I found them. I found them just in time. Like it's like an entire merch area of just orange bird.
Okay. Yeah.
There's some little ornaments and cups and spirit jerseys. I can't get any closer because there are people parked in front of it, so
Yeah.
I don't want to get their kiddos on the stream. But lots and lots of orange bird merch. And it's just kind of, I like these ears too. They're really cute.
Very cute.
Oh, yeah.
The bow is
Orange
like
bird
just the right amount of
surplus,
sparkle
indeed.
in the middle there. I like that.
Yes, me too. I'm a fan of those ones.
Yes, I agree. So yeah, so you can find merch throughout World Showcase, like I mentioned earlier, but those main two places are going to be back towards kind of the front of the park area.
Air front faces. And there's like Snow White. They have some Snow White merch,
Yeah,
which is really pretty.
very, very pretty. I know the ears, I think the Snow White ears were hard to find for a while. I'm not sure if they're back. And I know the Figment Loungefly has been in and out a lot. So it's one of those
I don't
instances.
see any ears.
Yeah, it's one of those instances where when, especially with festival merch, if you like it when you see it, you should probably buy it. Do not wait because it may disappear before you make your rounds back to the shop. So keep that in mind.
All right, where am I going now? Germany?
Yes,
I'm
Germany.
here. I'm already here.
Hooray! Such a world traveler. So this is the barn market. I'm going to guess that's close to how you pronounce that in German. Basically, the farmer's market in the Germany pavilion. A couple different options that they have here. Again, these are highlighting things that we think kiddos would like to try. They have a potato pancake with house-made applesauce, which I believe, Kate, you have tried. Correct?
I tried that today, specifically the one just with applesauce, because they have two kinds. They have the one that's made with applesauce, and they have the potato pancake that has caramelized ham, onions, and herbed sour cream. So I tried the more plain one because I figured that might be what kids might be more interested in. And I would say, as an adult, I think I really missed like the herb sour cream.
Right, knowing
kid,
that you could have it.
Yeah, as a kid, it's very much like hash browns with applesauce. It's actually very plain, and I think that it was good. Like I was fine with it. It was probably like a 5 out of 10 for me. It was fine, but for kids, I think they would actually really enjoy it if they don't like things that are really spicy or have a lot of spices. I think that's a really good option for anybody who likes their food a little bit on the plainer side.
There you go. So that option is $5 at this outdoor market. One of the other options that they have is a toasted pretzel bread topped with Black Forest ham and melted Gruyere cheese. I tried that last festival, and I think Kate tried it this festival.
I did.
Kate, what were your thoughts on it?
Oh, I liked this a lot. It was probably like 8.5 to 9 out of 10. Like it was very well done. The cheese was just perfect, and the ham was delicious, and it was like the perfect size. I think it was a win for me, and it's only $5.75. Like it was really filling for what it was.
Yeah, we got it last year to split kind of as just a little snack between me and my kiddos, and we all really liked it. My kids, who can be a little picky about their meat, really enjoyed all of it together. Kind of the combination of the ham with the cheese and the pretzel bread. It was very, very good. So that is something that, as long as it's on the menu, I will probably get every time I go to Flower and Garden because
Yeah,
it's just
it's good.
super good.
Is
And
there anything else
then,
here?
yes, they also have there a warm cheese strudel with mixed berries. That again, something that kiddos may be willing to try. There we go. Kate's showing that photo there. And then this is the photo from Disney Food Blog. So definitely a generous portion of the fruit topping, which is nice. And that is $4.75 at the Germany Outdoor Kitchen. So all of those options really, really good for kiddos. If you've got kiddos that maybe aren't as sure about trying things, they've definitely got some good options at Germany for them to try and to snack on.
We're gonna walk past the caramel. I always say it's not Kuchen. I think it's how
Yeah.
Kuchen. That's how Elliot always he's mad at me because I can't say it right. He like makes fun of me. So now we're gonna smell all the caramel. Oh, it smells so good. Okay, we're gonna keep going.
And then we're keep on going. We're making good time. We can do it, Kate. We got this.
I know, we got a half hour.
We got this. Okay. Oh. Announcements are happening. He's so serious, that man. Oh, look at the 7 dwarves. They're so cute. That's one of my favorite topiaries. It's so cute.
No, then Snow White's over here.
So pretty. People are getting ready already for Harmonious tonight, huh?
I love the topiaries. No. We're ready.
All right, so we are headed towards Italy. So as Kate walks there, I'll chat a little bit about the food that is at that location. So at the Primavera Kitchen, a couple options possibly for your kiddos. The first, I feel like, is a really good Italian option if your kids are fans of pasta and Italian food. They have a tortelloni primavera, which is a spinach tortelloni with sweet butter, pancetta, corn, peas, and fava beans. So it's got a lot of ingredients in it, but I do feel like it's a good pasta option. If that's something that your kiddos are interested in. And it's a pretty good size serving for $9.75 at Primavera Kitchen in Italy. The other option that they have there, which I think is super fun for kids, is a dessert option, and that is the Budino alle Nicole. And that's the chocolate hazelnut pudding with a cookie crumble. It's basically like dirt pudding. So if you've ever made dirt pudding before, that's basically what it is, in a little cup with a little gummy worm on top. And that is $6.75. So super, super cute option for the kiddos to have as a little treat if you're in the Italy area.
Awesome. Was there any more here?
Nope. Let's move on. Our next stop will be in the America Pavilion at the funnel cakes stand. We'll stop there briefly, but before we get there, and while Kate is walking there, I'm going to talk just briefly as we head towards the American Pavilion about the Garden Rocks series. If you've got maybe some older kiddos or kiddos that are big fans of any of the bands that are playing during Garden Rocks, basically what it is they bring in some local and some kind of more well-known groups to the pavilion in the or excuse me, to the amphitheater in the American Pavilion. So they've got 3 show times that they run, and those are at 5:30, 6:45, and 8 o'clock. So those are the options that they have there. And there's full long lists of the performers that they have that do that. But they do have, that I just want to mention briefly, dining packages. So they do have dining packages for those performances that you can purchase. So if that's something you're interested in, I would say there's, let's see, 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6, 7, 8 different restaurants that offer those dining packages for those performances. So those dining packages range from, I mean, for kids, they start at $20 for kids and go up to, I think, like 48. For adults, they start around 35 and go up to 74. So depending on where you're eating, depends on what price you may have with those. There are also same day dining packages available at Regal Eagle, which is the quick service restaurant in the American Pavilion. So Kate is showing the amphitheater there, and directly across from that is where Regal Eagle is. So if that's something that you maybe don't want to make a reservation for and would rather just do same day, you can visit them at Restaurant Open. I suggest getting in line earlier because they have limited amounts of those packages that they will allow each day. And you will receive a wristband for the package if that's something that you're interested in doing. Now, I will say dining packages are only offered Friday through Monday. So Friday, Saturday, Sunday, Monday are when those dining packages are offered. The main reason to do those dining packages would be to get your one guaranteed seat per person to the Garden Rocks concert on the same day. So if you don't want to have to wait in line, cross your fingers to get in to see one of your favorite groups that's playing, that would be a way to guarantee that you have a seat, because the rest of the amphitheater will be filled on a first come, first served basis. So Kate is showing us there one of the signs. They've got lots of signage around there, so if you're looking for who's playing when, that is all available on the Disney website as well as it's on the big long signs that are outside of the amphitheater as well. So the next stop that we have.
Yeah, I'm sorry.
You're okay. Nope, you're good.
We're at the funnel cakes.
Yes.
Made it.
The next stop that you have is actually the standard funnel cake little stand that is always in the American Pavilion. So it's not a separate location. It's not a pop-up outdoor kitchen, but they do have a specialty item for the festival, and that is the banana split funnel cake. And it is a funnel cake topped with banana chocolate chip ice cream, whipped cream, diced strawberries, and a maraschino cherry drizzled with chocolate syrup. So that is an option that they have just for the festival at this location. It is $11.50. And I have heard mixed reviews on whether or not it's worth it. I'll be completely honest with you. As I was reading and researching, some people enjoyed it. Some people said the flavors were a little underwhelming. But if you guys are funnel cake fans, that may be something that you want to try and share with your family as one of the options for your festival food. I think it looks good and sounds good too, but I haven't tried it, so I can't tell you for certain. Okay. Okay, so Kate is now in the Japan Pavilion.
We're going to show them like this.
Sorry, what'd you say, Kate?
I said Epcot views.
Oh, okay. Yes. Okay, so in the Japan Pavilion at the Hanami Outdoor Kitchen, they do have the famous frushi, or fruit sushi. And the frushi is strawberry, pineapple, and lychee wrapped in sweet rice and pink soy wrap, served with whipped cream, drizzled berry sauce, and toasted coconut. So that tends to be a fan favorite in the festival. I feel like that's one that people like to get frequently. They do have regular sushi there as well, but the frushi will run you $7.50. And I like that it's like 4 little individual servings. And as someone who has a family of 4, that's like, okay, perfect. One per person.
Not great for a family of 5.
Yeah, not so much. Not unless you know that somebody isn't going to eat it, then that's a little bit different.
All right.
So they
Is
do
that
have
all we have here?
Yep. We can keep
Okay.
on keeping on. So like I said, they do have regular sushi there, a couple other options as well, but we are highlighting options for kids at Flower and Garden. Sorry, I've been talking a lot. I had to get a drink really quick. Okay, so we are headed. Oh, so pretty. Okay, so our next stop will be in the France Pavilion. And while Kate heads over that way, I will briefly just chat about a couple other options that they have for things to do in entertainment during the festival. They do have a festival themed Beacon of Magic. So if you're familiar with the light shows on Spaceship Earth, they do have a festival themed one this year. It is the song What Else Can I Do from Encanto, which is a fun one that they added this year. Which is it runs from sunset pretty much till park close, and it's on a rotating loop I think there's 3 or 4 shows typically that rotate through on there. So if you're gonna want to catch that one, you got to spend maybe about 30 minutes up there to catch it. But it is a super fun little light show on there themed to that song. There are also some different photo pass options that you have as well with like the magic shots that I thought were super cute that I wanted to show you guys quickly. These are the Disney kind of stock photos, but they've got one where you can look like Orange Bird is hanging out with you. Kate, I think you need to do this one. And then there's also an Encanto. There's also an Encanto themed one too.
I need to do that one. Where is that one? Do you know?
What'd you say, Kate? I lost you for a second.
Sorry. Did you say where that photo shot was? I missed it.
No, I didn't have a location that I could find on the website, so it may just be one of those things that you have to ask the cast member and see what they say. It looks like it's, the stock photo that Disney uses is just by a garden, so that's not super helpful. I'll see if I can find it for you, Kate, though. I did some looking and I couldn't find it earlier today.
Okay.
Yeah. Okay. And then a couple other things that they have for different things that you may want to do with your kiddos. They've got the Jammin' Gardeners. So if you guys are familiar with the Jammitors, these are pretty much a very similar act, but they do it all with garden things. So they use shovels and watering cans and all that kind of stuff to create music. So definitely check that out if that's something you're interested in for that as well. All right. So in the France Pavilion, which Kate has made her way to, where's my list? Where'd it go? I'm scrolling all over. There it is. Okay. A couple different options here. So this is another one that I feel like is a really good place to stop with your kids. They've got a croissant with goat cheese and herbs and roses. If your kids are fans of croissants and cheese, that is one that they have there. And then that is $6.75 for that one. They also have, and I'm sorry, I'm not even going to attempt these French names because I'm just going to butcher them. But they also have a chocolate tart. And that chocolate tart with a Valrhona single origin chocolate brownie, walnuts, and raspberry coulis. So that is that one that Kate is showing, and that is $8.50. And then the other thing that they have there is a beignet, and that is a caramelized beignet filled with a vanilla cream and glazed with a caramel fleur de sel, and that is $5.95. So a couple different options there, some sweet, some savory, but all of those options are available at the France Pavilion's outdoor kitchen. Perfect. Sorry, Kate, I'm not trying to rush you. I'm just trying to get all of the information into everything.
Nope. No, we only have so many minutes before Harmonia, so
right.
I'm rushing a little bit.
That's okay. And we knew it was going to kind of be this way, you know, mom life and trying to get everything in on the show all before Harmonious is a little tricky. So, you know, it is what it is. So the next couple locations that we're going to head to are kind of near back where we started. We kind of made like a full loop around World Showcase. A couple other things while Kate walks. If you guys have questions about anything with the festival, now would be a good time to ask them. So we'll have a few minutes now because when we wrap the show, Kate will be, I'll be hopping off and Kate will be watching Harmonious. So if you guys have questions, be sure to ask them now. Now would be a good time because Kate's got a little bit of walking to do. A couple other things that I will mention. Living with the Land does have kind of some special items that they have out on their ride during the festival. So we talked earlier about the behind the scenes tour, not being a festival offering, but it has some different things that are themed for the festival on it. But they do have highlighted on the ride an edible flower garden area. And they set up, let me find the photo that I found of it. They set up just this cute little picnic table on the ride. So a couple little fun additions to Living with the Land that happened during Flower and Garden. And they highlight some different foods and different things that they're growing in the greenhouses during the festival as well. And you'll see that pretty much across a lot of the festivals. They'll highlight different things depending on what is being utilized in the park right now. Another option of things to do with your kiddos is the butterfly garden. So over towards the Imagination Pavilion and the Figment area, they have the butterfly house. And I couldn't find a great picture of like the actual house itself, but like there's your little sign. Hi, Tink. So yeah, they've got a butterfly garden that you can walk through. My kiddos loved this last year. They had so much fun looking at all the signs, looking at all of the different types of butterflies and the types of flowers and they've got information on there on what types of butterflies are attracted to which flower. So a really, really fun place to go. And it's just a walkthrough. It's a decent-sized butterfly garden, but won't take you too long to go through there. And we visited it several times throughout our visit last spring. Hi, Pooh Bear. So cute. These are some of the first ones to go up, I think, this year. From what I saw, some of the first topiaries to go up.
Yeah, I think so. Very people-y.
Yeah. Okay, I'm going to talk about some of the other booths that we're coming up to because I'm assuming we're not going to attempt to go over by Figment because that's just too far with the amount of time that we've got. So over by that Figment area, there is a little cart outside called the Land Cart that does have some flower and garden food offerings. They've got a fruit and cheese plate over there. They also have, which is grapes, strawberries, cheddar, and mini Baby Bell snack cheeses for $8.50. They have a vegetable plate over there that is broccoli, carrot sticks, and tomatoes with a dip. That is $4.25. And then they've also got pretzels with hummus over there, which is $5. And they've got a cookies and cream chocolate mousse cup over there for $5.50. So lots of good options over there. I couldn't find actual photos of like any of that food, but I did find the menu. So that'll give you an idea of kind of what they've got to offer over there. And again, that's over kind of between the Land and Figment. So if your kiddos are into those kind of little snacky plates, that may be a good option for you. So Christina, you asked about options for kids that are extremely picky. It really just depends on what kind of food they like or what they dislike. We're trying to highlight the best that we can kind of options for kids. So if you feel like the stuff that we're offering or that we're talking about tonight doesn't sound like something your kiddo will try, then maybe look into the menus a little bit more or see what other quick service options that you have. You can grab maybe before you enter World Showcase if that's something that your kiddo is not going to find a snack throughout World Showcase. And also, there's lots of other places in World Showcase to get a snack. We're just talking about the festival specific stuff this evening. So I hope that helps. I think we've just got 2 more, Kate. We're almost there.
Okay. I'm getting there.
You're so good. Getting your workout for today. Not that you haven't been already walking around all day today.
Okay, the Pineapple Promenade, is that where we're headed next?
Yep, that's perfect.
Okay.
Just enjoying the atmosphere. The music, I feel like the music got louder. It wasn't this loud earlier when we started.
It's like slowly getting louder and louder. This is slow and slowest.
Slowly getting louder.
And then like the one.
I lost you for a second, Kate. What'd you say?
Oh my gosh. I have wind down music. I found it.
Okay. I was like, I couldn't hear you. You cut out. I'm not very helpful right this moment. Okay, Pineapple Promenade. So 2 things that I want to talk about here. First of all is that you can get your Dole Whip here. So during the Flower and Garden Festival, if you're at Epcot and you want Dole Whip, they have Dole Whip here. Just your standard Dole Whip is $6. They do have a Dole Whip float with Fanta for $6.25. And they also have alcoholic Dole Whip for those parents that maybe want that.
Epcot will proudly present Harmonious, a dazzling display of fireworks, stunning special effects, and moving music from around the globe. Due to lower light levels during the show, please watch your step and take small.
And how it's created and the bees and those types of things. There's lots of little informational signs along there, which is a super fun little thing to have as you're looking to get some food. So at this outdoor kitchen, one food option that I wanted to mention here that they have that your kiddo may be interested in trying is a version of chicken and waffles. So they've got a crispy honey brine chicken and honey for kiddos as well for $6.75. And while you're standing there, I do want to mention a couple things. Our friend at Walrus Carp, who we have been talking about, Kirk, he's got that wonderful map that we showed earlier. I did reach out to him and just ask him for a couple of his suggestions for his favorites of the fest. So these are favorites regardless of them being quote unquote kid friendly. And at Honey Bistro, one of the options that he gave was the pollinator flatbread. So that is a flatbread option that they have there. And it is a flatbread with honey whipped mascarpone, honey caramelized onions, blueberry gastrique, prosciutto, honey whipped goat cheese, arugula, a honey vinaigrette, and bee pollen. So that is something. Yeah, so that is something that Kirk raved about as being a really great option to get at the festival. It is $6.25, and it is a good size portion for $6.25. So if you're headed to Honey Bistro, you may want to try the flatbread and get your kiddo the chicken and waffles, and then you're both happy. I will mention just briefly his other 2 options that he gave. One was the fried cinnamon roll bites that we talked about way back at the beginning of the show from Brunchcott. That was one of his other options. And Kate is playing in her shadow. I love it. So those are 2 of his 3. His third option is at Trowel and Trellis, which we did not stop at, but it is not too far. Ooh, let me show you. right there in the orange in the middle of the screen on the map there. They have the Impossible Korean short rib there. And it is the short rib with cilantro, lime, rice, danmuji, slaw, and kimchi mayonnaise. And that was his other choice for the best of what he's tried and what he's had at the festival, and that is $6.75.
We invite you to join us for Harmonious, a spectacular celebration of the magic that happens when music connects us around the world.
Getting louder.
Due to lower light levels, we ask that you please watch your step. All children only. It's a Harmonious.
Okay.
Did we get them all?
So again, those
Did
were
we get everything.
We did. Yep. So those were Kirk's 3 options that he gave to us. Oh, really quickly, I do just want to show, I'm looking through my pictures here to make sure I got everything. We were talking about merch earlier. They do have this adorable orange bird sipper available. And that is the mobile order merch item that's currently available. Think like they had the Figment popcorn buckets for Festival of the Arts. That's what this one is. And then another option that you can purchase if you choose to is this adorable little Spike the Bee spork. They have that as kind of a almost like a collectible merch item as well. If that's something that you're interested in, those 2 items are available. Okay. We made it, Kate.
Okay.
So while Kate finds her spot for Harmonious, thank you guys so much for joining us for a fast and furious look at the Flower and Garden Festival and how to do it with kids. If you guys, like I said, have more questions or want more answers or clarification or additional information, please reach out to us on our Discord channel. If you're not in our Discord, you can, I'm mirrored. There it is. Find the link in my bio. It's also in Kate's bio if you are on her side. And as always, you can find our replays on our podcast and on our YouTube channel. And just make sure you're following us so that way you don't miss out on any of the content that we're putting out. We've got Instagram and YouTube, so make sure you are following us over there as well. Kate, any last words?
Thank you, Jackie. I was going to say thank you for all of your hard work prepping all this episode, Jackie. This one really was Jackie's everything. I'm just helping her look at stuff. So thank you, Jackie, for putting this together for us. I really appreciate that. And I think that's it for this episode.
That a lot of our Pocket Fam members have agreed to be on. We've got Park Pros coming on. We've got parents. We've got kind of a little bit of everyone from Pocket Fam. So be sure you're here for that one next week. We will miss Kate, but she will be traveling home safely. So we want to make sure she focuses her energy on that. And then we'll see her again the week after.
Yeah. All right, I'm going to hop off and go to Harmonious. I think what I'm going to do is end this live and restart another one with the title Harmonious so people don't get confused. So if you want to watch Harmonious, you can see me back here in just a minute. But thank you, Jackie, and thank you, everybody, for a wonderful episode of Mom Street USA. And we'll be here tomorrow for District, talking about the rest of the Jungle Cruise script. That's tomorrow night at 8:30 p.m. Eastern or 5:30 p.m. Pacific. So we'll see you there.
All right, everyone, have a great night, and go make sure you follow Jackie. Kate so we can watch Harmonious. I'll be there too.
Okay.
Bye.
Bye, everybody.